Okay, folks, we're going to be getting into something a little bit different today. I've been seeing this popping up on my feed quite a bit recently. Videos about Broken Britain. It seems to be a popular topic of how the country is falling apart at the seams. Now, seeing as I have lived in this country for most of my life, I lived in Wales for a bit as well. So I feel like I'm in a pretty decent position to comment on this subject. Today we are looking at a video by channel Living in China, and this is by somebody who was born in the UK, Sheffield I believe, and after 13 years living in China he is coming back to the UK to catch up with some friends, and these are his thoughts from just landing back in the UK. So let's get into this, let's see what this guy has to say. After 13 years in China, I returned to UK. This is shocking.
Just landed back in Broken Britain, back in England, and take a look at my case. There's a damn wheel missing on my case. Thanks a lot, Heathrow Airport. Welcome back to Broken Britain.
Now, from the outset, we can tell that this guy is hamming it up a bit. I don't know what the rest of his videos are like, but let's keep moving.
What is going on here? Look at the trash. It's a total for fish and chips and a coffee. £32, 64 pence. Oh my god, look at the state of this. How old is this train even? Why is there just rubbish and trash all over the place? Is this not one of the richest countries and richest cities in the world? Why is there a cardboard box there? Oh my god, look at all this chewing gum on the floor and some more homeless people.
Homeless people? The chewing gum on the floor. Sorry man, it's not affecting anything. I know it doesn't look that nice, but it's not fresh bits of chewing gum on the floor. It's not going to stick to your feet or anything.
There's a bike just missing wheels there. What has happened to my country? What has happened to the UK?
To the UK?
Look at this, we just came down to the underground. Look at the state of it. What is this concrete junk? No doubt the ticket is going to cost like £100 or something. Look at that up there. What is going off up there?
Yeah, that does look quite bad actually. Like exposed wires.
The state of it. I want to go back to China already. What kind of style is this?
He does give off a little bit of spoiled child vibes, but we'll keep it moving. He does have some good points.
100-year-old style? What's this? Look at this.
Not 100 years. This is kind of exaggerating. It's not 100 years. It's probably like 80s architecture, isn't it? I know it looks like crap, but a little bit of a problem with this video, I find. And also, this is probably a problem with London. He's complaining about it, but it's always been like that. It's always been a bit crappy, isn't it? It's needed updating for a long time, hasn't it? He's kind of hamming it up and everything, but there is a point to be made here. The main infrastructure, the trains and what have you, they haven't been updated enough. They haven't moved with the times, basically. I mean, look what he's looking at here, this ticket machine. It does look pretty battered. It looks like it hasn't been changed since the 80s.
Give you some money.
What's this?
Run out of time.
Oh, it's running out of time. You got to use cash. Look at this outdated system. Got to use cash.
Got to use cash. This guy is a little bit annoying. Yeah, you don't have to use cash. It's just giving you the option to use cash. There's probably a card option as well. And actually it's quite handy if you've got some cash and you've got not quite enough to take a journey. You could just whack a few coins in, top it up.
What's going on here? Look at this junk. What's this? I've got a sign. This station is Piccadilly line only. Why I can only go on one line? Why you can't go on multiple stations?
I don't know whether this guy's been to London before, man.
Look at the state of it. Coins. Fumbling around with cash coins. Lincoln, this is your first time in London. What do you think?
No!
No, yeah, no. Me too. No.
This interacting with the kid as well. Like, what's he going to say? If his dad is saying, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, what's the kid going to say? Of course he's going to say he doesn't like it as well.
No, let's go back.
Okay.
We're trying to get in with a pram. I'm speechless. Don't even have pram access. Can barely even get my three-legged case in because they took a damn wheel off. Damn Heathrow Airport. Thank you. You laughing? What? Look at the platform. No barriers, anything. Some kind of delinquent could shove you on. You don't know what's going to happen. This is the first station you see when you arrive in the United Kingdom, one of the richest countries in the world. This is what foreigners see when they arrive here.
It's an underground station. I don't know what you're expecting, man. Do you want kind of flowers and stuff down there? I mean, it's just a functional station, isn't it? Somebody else is saying in the comments in New York or other places with underground stations, they're not going to be much better than this, man. It's just an underground station. He's talking about the first thing you see when you arrive there, you probably see King's Cross or Paddington. Those stations are actually quite nice. When I first arrived in London, I didn't think, oh, this is disgusting. It's an underground station in a big city.
You would think it'd be a bit better, you know?
A few moments later.
Still waiting on this so-called train to turn up.
So-called train to turn up. Well, have you looked at the times when it's turning up? When I was living in London for 8 years, the trains were pretty good, actually. I didn't find there was many times where I was left hanging around for underground trains.
It's been ages.
3 days later.
It's been ages. He sounds like a spoiled kid brat, this guy, at times, man.
Oh my god, look at the state of this. How old is this train even? 100 years old?
Exaggerating as well.
What a state.
It's an underground train, man. I mean, yes, there's some graffiti on it or whatever. Yes, it's a bit grim and, but...
Just look at this. I'm absolutely speechless in a bad way. I mean, look at that. How dirty that is.
Why it's not going yet?
Why is the train not going? Because everything in England's broken and slow. Do you want to go back to China? Yeah. We just arrived. No, we've just arrived and you're hammering it into him how bad it is. So of course he's going to say he wants to go back. Arrived, nigga. We just arrived.
I'll go back to China.
Yeah, don't push your rhetoric too much on your kids, man. I don't know. Whatever.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Whoa. All the cases almost just went flying down the train.
Flying down the train. No, there's no signal. Yeah, man, it's kind of standard, mate. I'm sorry. It's how it is. I don't know when the last time you went to London was, but this is kind of standard. This is the hotel that we're staying in. The Holiday Inn here in Bloomsbury. Just every single word is being skeptical, isn't it? For dramatic effect.
Almost
£300.
$400. Let's take a look at the view. How's the view? Oh, just some kind of view of the grain. That is kind of insane. 300 quid. Did he look at other prices? Cheaper options? I feel like he could have gone a bit lower than 300. 300 for a Holiday Inn is pretty crazy. Of the UK, some dilapidated housing there. Lincoln, what do you think? It's an overcast day, It's standard UK, man. You can't
blame the country for being grey. It's just a grey day. That's quite standard in England.
No. No, just no. Where's the sun, Lincoln? Why it's grey? Where did the sun
Because it's
go?
the UK, mate.
It must be some bad guy took its sun.
Some bad guys took the sun, yeah. I think it was Keir Starmer.
I mean, I don't like Keir Starmer, but you can't blame the weather on him. I don't think he's got control over that.
So this is the Holiday Inn, aka the Holiday Bin. I mean, it's just insane. £300 per night in China. You could literally stay in the Ritz, in Four Seasons, Hilton.
You could probably get somewhere cheaper than 300 a night, man. He's probably like in the centre of London, basically. Even so, yeah, it is bad.
The
But the centre of London is like a holiday trap, isn't it? It's a holiday maker trap. So everything is through the roof.
Marriott for that price in luxury 5-star hotel. But what does it get you here in London? It gets you this little
Central
box
London,
room,
probably.
Which, by the way, we've got the lights on. It's actually now it's daytime. It's like 10, 11 a.m. We've got to put the lights on because if you notice in this room, look in the middle here. There's no main light. There's just got these.
Yeah,
two
that is
lights.
quite crazy.
And why? Because in the UK, the electricity prices are the highest in the world. It's an absolute.
Is that true, is it? I wouldn't be at all surprised because it is pretty damn expensive.
Broken Britain.
He keeps saying that broken Britain. He loves that phrase, doesn't he?
And so what the hotel is trying to do is save money. There's no light.
Pretty crazy. No main light in your bedroom, which you've paid £300 for.
I mean, what is this? Is it made of paper? What is this? What is this, Lincoln?
Don't China have things made of paper? I thought they're quite into paper stuff, aren't they? Paper lanterns? It does look pretty flimsy though, doesn't it?
What is this?
It make a paper light.
It's made of paper. And we just had an absolute nightmare arriving here on the underground. And we arrived here in Bloomsbury at Russell Square.
Right, so he's at Russell Square. I mean, come on, dude. Central London here. Let me show you where Russell Square is. I mean, you're right next to the British Museum. Yes, it is going to be expensive. Where's he staying? Holiday Inn, Russell Square. Let's see if that comes up. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. This is the place he stayed. I mean, you are smack bang in the middle of things here, man. Houston. You're like within walking distance of King's Cross. How much did he spend? He spent 200. I can just see on this map that we've got cheaper places. 123 a night. 68 a night. So I don't know how he's got to 300 a night. I think you might have been ripped off there, mate.
I'm carrying 2 big 27-kilogram cases. So we come out of the train. We can't find a lift. There's no lift around. And then so I'm carrying up these little windy staircases, 2 cases. And then we find a lift, but then the lift doesn't have any button.
Did you ask anybody about where you had to go to get to the exit? Or you just tried to figure it out?
And there's a big red sign that says, "No access to the lift here." Why? Right? And so then we're looking around, still couldn't find we couldn't find the lift, Lincoln. We couldn't find it. And Lincoln was crying. Lincoln was screaming. He was scared, yeah, because there was no lift. Lincoln was screaming, crying. We started arguing, and then we still couldn't find the lift. And so then we carried on going up these little windy stairs, and it was just going on forever. Like I was trying to carry these cases, and then someone was coming down the stairs, and she was like, "Oh, you don't want to go up there. You've got like so much more stairs to go." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Is this the exit?" And she was like, "No." Then I was like, "Where's the lift?" And she was like, "I don't know." And then she just walked off. And so then we went back down the
She's not... Random person is not supposed to kind of help you, man.
stairs, and we went back to the lift that said no access here, and we just waited for the doors to open because there's no button, you can't press it. We waited for the doors to open, someone come out, and then we just went in, and then we went up. I don't even know where's the proper place. I don't even know where's the proper place to get the lift.
I don't have ball.
Absolute nightmare, confusing maze, little windy staircases. Look at this, hotels got a notice about it. The only times that they put the heating on, you can't control it in your room. And then look at the lift. They only have a button to keep the doors open. I want a button to close the doors.
Like, the doors will close when you... when you press the floor you want to go to.
I don't want to wait around, keeping it open. I want to close it. Not got the best weather today.
Guess you're in the UK, mate.
Oh, just pile of rubbish there next to the lamppost.
Yeah, that's pretty crap.
Homeless dude over there. These are the lovely streets.
Bit patronising towards homeless people. No worries. Kind of standard in a big city to have homeless people. Hate to break it to you, mate.
Not in a bad area as well.
I'm not saying it's good, but it's kind of standard.
Only just arrived.
But also, London is especially bad. It has a really bad problem. It's really sad, actually. Yes, I've seen one Christmas. I remember quite near Easter King's Cross, sort of Fleet Street kind of area, and every other doorway there was somebody sleeping in there.
Here in London, spot a homeless person already.
I think most cities are like that. I know it's bad, and we don't, but it seems as if it's disrupting his experience rather than him being concerned about it.
What does that tell you? Look at this. I mean...
But also, when you get off a train or whatever, yes, there'll probably be homeless people there because there's a lot of people passing through, so it's a good place to beg, isn't it?
I don't understand what's going on. Why is it...
This section as well, man. Like, he's complaining about the rubbish here. There's like one crisp packet.
Just rubbish and trash.
That's a few little bits.
All over the place. Is this not one of the richest countries and richest cities in the world? Why is there a cardboard box there? What has
I know that does look a bit crap.
happened to my country? What has happened to the UK?
The UK? What's happened to the UK?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, there's a crisp packet.
Filthy.
Unbelievable.
What's this? What's this even? There's a bike just missing wheels.
That's kind of standard as well in London. How are you going to get that off that post? You're going to have to saw it off or something. I get it. I get what he's saying. But this is my experience of super big cities. There probably does need to be more people employed to keep the streets clean. I would agree with that. But he hasn't shown the best example. The last two bits he showed, like that little bit of rubbish and the cardboard box, it is a bit crap to find that lying around. But before, he was looking at one crisp packet and saying how bad it was.
There? What is going on? What has happened? Keir Starmer, you've got a lot to answer for. And you've got a lot to fix. Can he fix it? Who knows? Broken Britain. And like I was just saying before, this is not some rundown area of London. This is not East London.
It's a very busy area of London, though.
This is Bloomsbury. The British Museum is just over there.
Okay, so we'll look at the British Museum. It looks pretty tidy around the British Museum.
This is high-end, posh area. Why does it look like this? What is going on? Does anyone know? Because I don't know. I'm in shock. I'm in disbelief at what has happened to my country. I want to go back to China. Oh my God, look at all this chewing gum on the floor. And some more homeless people.
Disgusting homeless people.
What is going on here?
I can tell you what's going on here. If you look a little bit further in your vision, we can see that there's a pile of rubbish at the end of the street. The birds have clearly pulled the rubbish down the street. Yes, it's bad, but I'm not sure anybody could have done too much about it, because that rubbish probably hasn't been there that long at the end of the street.
Look at the trash. This seagull's loving it though. Get out of here. Get out of here. Don't get me wrong, you know, there is some nice places in London. I'm not hating on London. Like this street looks
You are, Hopper.
very Christmassy and
You really are.
Harry Potter-esque. You know, but let's be honest. Most of London is a shithole, covered in trash. The infrastructure is really bad as well. The metro, the subway. We took the subway earlier today, and it was just absolutely rammed, jam-packed. Could barely fit on the train.
Standard London, I'm afraid.
And I live in China. I've never been that much jam-packed on the metro in China.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. The infrastructure is bad, outdated. It's just been the same for too long, hasn't it? And just not updated.
It was insane. I think it's just after I've been living in China for 13 years that I've got used to their insane infrastructure, the pristine, clean streets, the efficiency of everything. And then you just come back to here, and it's just like, it's as if we've gone back in time 20 years. Everything's grim. I mean, just look at this. You might think that it's nighttime. It's 3 p.m. It's 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
Yeah, but that's the weather, man. You can't do anything about that. It's just an overcast day, man. UK weather is crap, yeah.
Why is it dark like this? What's going on? You know, it really makes you laugh that the BBC, they use the grey filter on articles and videos about China. But when you come here, come back to the UK, it's one of the greyest places in the world. We have now come to the British Museum, which is basically a place that the British Empire shows off all of the things that they stole from countries they colonized, enslaved, pillaged, and plundered. Fortunately, there is no entry fee to enter this place because, I mean, that would be the icing on the cake. Can you imagine if you were from a country like China, or a country in Africa like Egypt or India, and they charge you to come into this museum to see the things that they robbed from your country? Can you imagine? They rob you again to see the things that they robbed from you. So thankfully there's no entrance fee for a ticket. I mean, that would be crazy. And look at this, the cheek of it, the things that they stole from China and South Asia. It's closed. These galleries are temporarily closed for cleaning and maintenance. What the hell? Can you believe it, eh? We can't even see. We can't even see the things that they stole from China.
Well,
All the way from China. And it's not even open.
yeah, well, I hate to break it to you, dude, but the museum is not just open for you, man. Maybe you think it should be. I don't know. It's not just you who can't see the things from China. It's everybody else as well.
What is going on? Lift currently out of service. Why is everything either closed or broken? We've just come to the Natural History Museum. It's a Stegosaurus, eh? Wow. Look at this, the main escalator.
This is pretty bad, actually.
It's out of service. I mean,
That is pretty bad.
this is the main entrance. Why they can't fix it?
Yeah, it's the main entrance.
Broken Britain. Everything's broken. So where are we supposed to go then? Oh my God! Look,
I suppose you're supposed to go the way you came in.
some kind of bear or something.
Well, if you
Kind of rhino
read,
bear.
if you read the sign, then you'll see what it is.
Just coming to the main hall of it now, and I remember I actually came here before when I was a kid, and they used to have a different dino, like a Brachiosaurus or
Yeah.
something,
Well, if
and it filled the whole room. And now they've kind of replaced it with this. I don't know what that is. Some kind of water dino.
well, I'm sure you could find out. He's got a kind of sneery tone. He's quite annoying, this guy. He really is. When you were a kid, yeah. So let me guess. So that was probably over 20 years ago. So yes, they might have changed the exhibit since you were a kid.
We've got old Charlie Boy Darwin there, sat on his chair, thinking he's all smart and that, coming up with evolution. Look at this. The vault. Once again, we are sorry that this gallery is temporarily closed. Well, thanks for that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It does seem as if a lot of it's closed off, and
I'm glad that it's free entry to get in here. Lift out of service.
another lift out of service. Okay.
Why is everything broken here?
Fixing our broken planet, very good. Fixing our broken Britain.
Planet. How about you fix the museum first? It's broken. Now, I have been whinging and complaining
Yes.
a lot in this video, but there is actually one good thing about the UK, and that is Greggs. That's the food, would you believe it? British food. Greggs is absolutely...
There is better food than Greggs, man. I'm in Cornwall, and we've got Cornish pasties, which kicks the out of Greggs.
wonderful. You didn't like Greggs? No? It's good. It's kind of like pastry.
He doesn't like it.
Donuts and just scrumptious steak bakes. Just waiting on our train now up to Sheffield from London, and we just came to a little restaurant here. Zhao ordered fish and chips, and I ordered coffee, right? You're not going to believe the price of this.
Okay, so let's see where this is. Cersei's Bar. So that's George Street. So he's in Westminster now, right next to Westminster Abbey. He hasn't picked the best places to go, has he?
Fish and chips cost us.
It's
£24.
Yeah, these prices are expensive, but you have to understand, mate, you're in the tourist trap areas. To back this guy up a little bit, fish and chips in the UK is at an all-time high. It used to be a super cheap meal, now it isn't. I actually work in a fish and chip shop. The prices are outrageous. For a family, you're going to be spending... I mean, this is just for one portion of fish and chips. That is outrageous. No, food prices in general are outrageous in the UK at the moment.
£24 for fish and chips, right? My coffee, my Americano, £4, right? Then it gets worse. So that comes to £28 for fish and chips and a coffee, right? Plus service charge.
Service charge.
13%.
Service charge.
I never agreed to any service charge. They didn't ask.
I agree with this guy on this point. You've got to be asked if you want to give. I mean, but places do just slap it on, but...
Right? On top of that, charity. Discretionary charity. £1. I never agreed to giving money to charity. I don't want to give money to charity. £1. So total for fish and chips and a coffee, £32.64. Welcome to Broken Britain. I should go back and get my £1 back. She didn't even ask.
It's quite bad.
£1 to charity. What charity is it? Didn't even ask. What a joke. Broken Britain, get me out of here.
A few moments later.
Right, little update. I weren't standing for that, being forcefully made to give money to charity without being asked. You know, that's not right. So I went back and they gave me back the £1, as they should. It's not about the money, and it's not about giving money to charity. It's about the principle that I was not asked.
Yeah, that is bad.
So I got the money back. So don't let restaurants do that to you. It is illegal. It's against the law. Broken Britain. Got my money back. You have to live by your principles.
Broken tourist trap, busy area of London.
Myself into the video here because there's a few things that I forgot to mention which are shocking when compared to China. First, we took the train from London to Sheffield, my hometown, and then we spent some time there and went on to visit some friends up in Scotland. That journey from Sheffield Station to Glasgow Central is around 330 kilometers, and it took us 5 hours. Now, I just want to compare that to a train journey in China. For example, Beijing to Shanghai on China's high-speed rail also takes around...
Hang on a minute. You were talking about the barriers. Somebody could just jump out in front of the train. There's no barriers there.
Shanghai on China's high-speed rail also takes around 5 hours. But this journey is not 330 kilometers, it's 1,318 kilometers. China is literally sending you 1,000 kilometers further in the same amount of time. That's the entire length of the UK. Now, secondly, we bought first class tickets, which cost me around £200 each.
Like, why did you buy first class tickets? Come on, dude. This guy he's complaining about the price of things, but he does seem as if he's got a bit more money than sense. Why are you buying first class, man? Just buy normal class. It's not going to be much different, as he found out.
Although it is quite expensive, that is not the shocking thing that I wanted to mention.
Quite expensive.
Now, you guys are not gonna believe this, right? But these first class seats that we paid £200 for, they did not recline at all.
Oh my God. Dreadful, dreadful. This is horrible.
Oh, most Chinese viewers are not gonna believe this because in China, economy seats can recline, the business class seats can recline, and the first class seats can recline into a full-on bed. You can literally lay fully out in those egg chair things. It's great, right? But in the UK, first class seats are 90 degrees. They don't move. 90. So for 5 hours, I was sat at 90 degrees. Now, I wouldn't have any problem with that if that was an economy seat, but I paid £200. You know, I expect just a little bit of reclinage. What a joke, Broken Britain. Anyway, that is the end of this video.
There he goes, chucks in the phrase once again. The catchphrase, the snappy catchphrase. No, I get it. I wanted to also point out at this point that I live quite rurally, very rurally in fact, and to get to the nearest town up till this year was £3 return, which is very good. But now, this year, it has doubled in price, so it's now £6. 100% increase in the cost of public transport near where I live. And that is a nightmare if you're in a really rural place like I am. Some people have bus passes, but slightly older than me, you're not old enough to have a bus pass, doesn't drive, to have your public transport double just to get to the nearest town, that is bad. Okay, so there we have it. Do I have anything to add to this? The situation in Britain is very tough at the moment. It is very tough. He's talking about London. I had to move from London because it was too expensive for me. Yes, the UK is in a bad state. Cost of living is absolutely ridiculous. Electricity going through the roof. Cost of electricity up and up and up. I was watching this video here while I'm leaving Broken Britain. Another video on Broken Britain. There's somebody saying that he's got an old battered car. To run it, it's costing him double what it used to. Rent going up and up and up. You cannot buy a house, basically. It's just not going to happen unless you're prepared to pay 250k up. You're not going to get a house for your family unless it's a battered terraced house up north. So there we have it. Interesting video. He was hamming it up a bit, but yet he did have some good points. It's a difficult one because London has always, when I was there for 8 years, it was scruffy. It was scruffy, and you do kind of get used to it. But that in itself is bad that you get used to it, and it really does need sorting because it's the capital city, isn't it? It's what people see when they get off the train or whatever, or come from another country. The first thing you see is like, oh, okay, this is a bit of a dump. Don't worry, guys. If you're visiting from another country, I wouldn't bother spending that much time in London. I would go around the tourist destinations, but don't stay in the middle and don't pay stupid prices. You'll be able to find decent prices if you search around. But yeah, you need to go a little bit out of central London. Okie dokie. That's about it from me. Take it easy. Sub for more React content. As we have been watching. After 13 years in China, I returned to the UK. This is shocking. Take it easy. We out. Peace.